Music stopped. Now it's coming.
We are now live.
Hello, everyone. Very, very good day or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. Lovely to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. We would love to start, but we'll just take a couple of minutes before we start. So thank you so much for joining us. Just a couple of minutes. And while we're waiting, if there is a pen and paper or some crayons, some sketches, any colors that are around you that you would love to get, please grab a paper and some sketches or a single pen. If there's nothing around you, then a pen is also okay. And join us with that. That's great. Get some water, get some coffee, get some breakfast if you need. Right, so join us with whatever you need and your paper. And we will start in just. Thank you so much. Welcome. We'll just take one more minute to start. But just also a small heads up for everyone joining us. This meeting is being recorded. It's also being live streamed. And so I hope that's it's okay with everyone here. Also, maybe you can quickly tell us in the chat if you want to tell us anything about yourself, right? While we're waiting for that 1 minute, if there's anything in the world you want to tell us about you can write that down in the chat. You can unmute and also tell us. Also, that for a very small piece during this conversation, if you're comfortable, we'll ask you to switch on your cameras for just about, I think, 5 to 7 minutes. So if you're comfortable, we would love to see, everybody turning on their videos during that time. So just giving you a heads up about that. So probably just 30 more seconds and we'll start. Man, I hope I'm audible to everyone. So maybe just drop a small thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, I think we'll begin. David, do you want to start or?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. So wherever you are there. So we are so excited to start this day. Thank you so much for coming here. Myself, Revana, I will be co-facilitating this session with Vinita. It's a great journey with the Dream Team, being spent more than 25 years learning, unlearning, relearning. Today, I'll be hoping to share some of the insight what we had through the journey at Dream Dream. I'm looking forward and huge welcome all of you to this session.
Thank you, Revu. I'm Vinita, again, co-facilitating with Revana. I also work with Dream a Dream. We are based, we're almost from the southern part of India, and I work as a facilitator there. We work in partnership with the state education department there, and I think as a facilitator, we're really trying to build more empowered uh, adults within the system, right? Who can support their own well-being, who can support the well-being of everybody around them, and even for the young people that we work with. So really hoping that today we have something to share from our learnings from as Dream a Dream and what well-being means to us. But also love to hear more voices around some of your own experiences, right? I'm sure there's so much more that's also happening from wherever you are. So would love to hear your experiences as well today and where we are around this. So thank you so much, and really, really looking forward to this conversation today.
So with that, let's start the session. And once again, welcome. We normally will start with a check-in. Wherever we go, we do the check-in. So in that, so we all have the power within us. So let's use this time to unlock that power and unleash that power. So now, to start the day, to start the session, I invite everyone to if you have a superpower uh, and unleashing that the person whom you have inside in you, if you possess that superpower, how would you transform the way we learn? So we learn different things. If you have that power to transform the learning environment, what will you do? So what is that learning transformation you wish to bring in the classroom or in the place where you are or in the education system? So put it that message in the chat box. If somebody wish to share, that also welcome. You can unmute and share. How would you transform the way we learn? Either you can put it in the chat or you can unmute and share.
Go absolutely crazy about how you wish to really change. Maybe that's something that you wanted to as a child for yourself. Maybe if this was the way we learned, things would have been really cool, really awesome for me. It could just be even that. So yeah, go crazy, go wild if you had the superpower.
There is a message in chat box. Savita Rangabassayam. That's really interesting. So when we ask, our children also were sharing that exam has to be eliminated. Thank you, madam, sharing that. So Vijay says that probably I have the power of touch. More like I touch books, words get absorbed into me. No need to sit and in a class. Thank you. I too wish that I also used to be in the ground always playing. Thank you, those who are shared, and so keep sharing. So we'll continue.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing, whoever has. So what we'll do right now is, as you're answering this question, of at any point of time you want to write this down in the chat, please do, in the way you would like to change how learning happens, right? So what I'll do right now is we'll play a small game just to get to know. There are a couple of us here from different places, from maybe from different cities, maybe from different countries, right? And so we'll just have a small conversation just to get to know each other here. So this is the place where I was telling you maybe we might have to switch on our cameras if you're comfortable. What we'll do right now is I'm going to read out a couple of statements. If that statement is true for you, either you can turn on your cameras, or you can show an emoji, any emoji, maybe a heart, a smiley, whatever resonates with you. Maybe you can show that emoji in the chat. Whoever is in the YouTube live stream as well, just drop a hey if that statement is relevant for you. So we'll all switch off our cameras like we are now. And if the statement is true for you, you can switch on your camera. Just show us that, hey, that's me, and like switch it off again, right? So let's do that quickly. For that, I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, if we're all ready, let's do a small demo with the first statement, which is, I start my day with a cup of coffee. I start my day with a cup of coffee. If this is true for you, you can drop an emoji in the chat or you can turn on your cameras. You start your day with coffee. Thank you, Savita. Thank you so much. You can drop an emoji or say, hey. Okay. The next statement, I'm going to also switch off my camera, is I am from the northern part of the globe. I'm joining here from the northern part of the globe. So if this is relevant for you, just say hey, or you can switch on your cameras. You're from the northern part of the globe. Okay. The third statement. I work directly with young people. I work directly with young people. And the young people could be from say 5 to 21. If you work directly with them, maybe as a teacher, as an educator, as a facilitator, you directly work with them, then maybe you can switch on your cameras or anybody else who works. Okay, I've got a few emojis. Thank you. Yeah, let's switch off again. If you speak any language, one or more languages other than English. If you speak one or more other languages, you can switch on your camera. Maybe you can also tell us in the chat what languages you speak. I would love to hear some. Like, for example, I speak Telugu and Hindi. For example, I speak Telugu and Hindi. But if you want to tell us in the chat what languages you speak, then you can. The next statement is, I love to read books. Thank you, Jibin. Okay, you speak Malayalam and Tamil. Okay, thank you. The next statement is, I love to read books. If you love to read books, you can drop an emoji or you can switch on your cameras. Yay. Nice. Thank you, Savita. Okay, so we have a few people who love to read books. Okay. I'm going to switch off again. The next statement is, this is my first Learning Planet session. This is my first Learning Planet session. This is my first Learning Planet session. Oh, thank you. Nice, lovely. So we have a few first timers. Thank you, nice. Interesting. And welcome then. Welcome to the Learning Planet session. I'm so glad that you were able to join us now. Switching off again. I love playing sports. If you love sports, you can switch on your cameras, show some emojis, show some love. Yes, If you love playing sports, and the sport can be any sport. Yay, we have quite a few sport lovers in the room. Nice, thank you. Oh, wow, you do Pilates. That's something I've always wanted to learn. But thank you for sharing. Lovely. Okay. Okay. The next statement is I believe school curriculum needs to be reimagined. I believe school curriculum, that whatever exists in your place, it needs to be reimagined. If you think that, drop an emoji. Yes, I know. I hear you all. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. The next statement is, I would love to become a child again, or I would love to relive my childhood, whatever works for you. Either you want to become a child or you want to relive your childhood, if it's relevant for you. I see some really amazing emojis, so thank you. Keep them coming. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The next statement is, I have a person I go to seek support or to share my problems. I have a person that I go to seek support or to share my problems in my life, right? So that's a few of us. Yes. That's nice. It's so nice to have that person, right? Great. Thank you. And Savita, yes, I completely agree. That I would love to go back to being a child. Okay. The next statement is, I use art to say heal, re-energize myself, or express my emotions, or you just love doing art. Any of them. Either you use it because you love to do art, you do to re-energize, or you just do it to express your emotions, right? Maybe just to draw when you're angry or just happy, so you want to use some colors, if anybody does that. Or you just generally love to do art. Okay, nice. So we have a few who haven't as much, and I think that'll be exciting today. Great. Last two statements. I would love to advocate for life skills. I would love to advocate for life skills. Or I want to advocate more for life skills wherever you're working. Yes. Oh, we have quite a few of us. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Superb. Okay, one last statement. I intentionally take care of my well-being. I intentionally take care of my well-being. You're very intentional about it. Wow, that's nice. Superb. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Great. So I think in this small room, I know a few things about each one of you. Thank you so much for being kind enough to share in whatever way you're comfortable, and for participating. Thank you so much. So let's just dive right into it, right? So then what does this mean for us? And I would love to hear more experiences also from all of you as we're going through, right? With that, over to you. Thank you again for sharing.
Thank you, Vinita. Thank you, everyone. I hope you had a fun. So show me emoji if you had a fun. Nice. So with that, so let's continue the session. So just to giving context where we are coming from, why we are here, and why we chosen well-being and life skill is important theme for this session. Just sharing a background of who we are and why we exist. We are a group called Dream Dream. Dream Dream empower young people from vulnerable background to thrive in fast changing world. So that's the main object or vision for our organization. The organization started in 1999 with the 12 volunteers who used to come and volunteer in shelter homes and HIV affected young people's shelters home. And they were thinking the shelter home is giving everything, food, nutrition, education, everything. Then they come up with an idea. So we'll empower young people by developing life skills so that they can not depend on the organization to earn their bread. So with that intention, the organization started and used sports and arts to develop life skills. So how we see life skills is to have abilities to overcome difficulties and challenges in a positive behavior space. In that, we started developing life skills in young people. Uh, Till 2011 and 12, so every year used to work with the 10,000 young people and learn from them. So then we realized that in India, there are many young people who need a life skills, and we didn't had a bandwidth to reach out so many young peoples. So in that, so what we come up with teacher development programs. When we empower teacher will help young people to have a life skills because teachers stay in the school system and students and young people will be keep coming and going. So while we learning with teachers, we realize that empowering teacher is not enough. We need to work with the system, advocates, and policymakers and the content developer, the textbook development committee. So they will provide insights, environment, the culture, young people to have holistical education. So in that, we started working with the mindset shift. Education is not only getting out or 100 out of 100. So the education is beyond mark, beyond the textbook. So the education should be help young people to overcome adversity and thrive. So those things before WHO define what is life skills, Dimitri Mas started working and developing life skills. In 2018, we start working with the system. We introduced, co-created with other stakeholders, with other organization to launch happiness curriculum in the government sector in Delhi. We anchor that influence. Those people welcomed us to prioritize children well-being is more important. They invited us and they supported and we co-created and working with Delhi government. We also influence other Uttarakhand government and Jharkhand government, Telangana government, and Karnataka government. So we have been working with this state to inculcate and contextualize a life skills curriculum for children's well-being. In that, we also taking that opportunity to work with other people who are with a similar mindset to contextualize and integrate the life skills education, focusing, helping young people to thrive. So while we working in the government sector, we realized that in our dream, in our all thriving center and thriving schools, we used to do 2 hour sessions. So those 2 hour session can't be done or conducted in the school setting where 40 minutes or especially the government schools, the infrastructure, when we see the resources which available in the government sector, we realize that so delivering 2 hour session every day, it will be a difficult task. In that, we realize that we need to contextualize to school setting and focus the least school who are there in the globe to help them to even with a small resource what they have to conduct these life skills sessions. In that, we started working with other like-minded people to contextualize a life skills curriculum, and we come up with a four different age categories curriculum, which help young people to take a creative risk. We help them to take step by step and help them to have a higher level of creative life skills. In that, we realize that it can be done in all the school setting where we young people who come from economically socially lower background. So same investing 25 years, we also learn that why life skills or social emotional learning is important. Vinita, next slide. Uh, so let us put some words. What comes to your mind when you heard well-being? So we'll share you a Mentimeter. You can just put it according to you. What comes to you when you hear well-being? We share the link in the chat. Just put according to you what comes to you when you hear a well-being word.
You can use a lot more words if you want to describe what well-being means to you using the same link.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those things. When we working with the childrens, this is what we identified when we are there in the classroom. The childrens are looking forward this one. The teachers are looking forward this kind of environment. The teachers are looking forward, and the administrator are looking forward this kind of things. But right now, what happened? So they pushed with lot of stress, lot of responsibility, lot of accountability, lot of examination, correction, data collection. All those are happening. So even though children's wants or not want, they are pushed to learn what they doesn't want. So along with this environment, what we are looking forward, but the children are coming with the other part of the experiences. Even some of us also are coming with that. So we call that adversity. So so while young peoples are in the adversity, they are not able to come up with all this environment. So they will be the children who are coming or the people who are coming. So they kind of some of the visible adversity they have we are able to see it, and some of the invisible adversities also the young peoples are coming. So we, especially working with the young people, we saw that many of the young people are coming from the poverty, so below the poverty. So they doesn't have single paisa to live their life. So they are coming from extreme poverty. The children also coming to the schools with the abuse, not only a mental abuse, a physical abuse, a sexual abuse, or emotional abuse. They are coming, and also there is a lot of discrimination in the community, the children who are coming, and they're also seeing and witnessing a lot of violence. The father might be hitting the mother might scolding the father, or the community itself are doing lot of violence. So those kind of adversity, the children who are coming are not able to have that safe space, have that happy learning environment in the schools. So they show same behavior what they are witnessing in the community, in the classroom. So in other case also, we saw that when the children are over given the care and love, or when they are received what they required, more than that, it also making them uh, to neglect the things, all also affecting as an adversity for children, so that they are not able to cope up with the things what the possibilities they have in their life. So all these are making children's mental well-being is not taken care, or physical well-beings were not taken care. So understanding this child adversity, and also the place where the young people are coming, students are coming, so we realize that so they need a life skills. So through the life skills, we are able to help young people to overcome that adversity and thrive in the fast changing world, by making the decision which makes them happier, which make them feel safe, which make them appropriate to lead their life, so not the who other people's does. So next slide. So when we say life skills, it's a broader level. So we worked closely with the mapped WHO life skills, and we saw that when they learn emotional regulation, they will be able to show appropriate behavior in the classroom, in the community, in the people uh, who are kind of working closely with the young people. So these are the few life skills we identified, and we helped incorporate in the life skills curriculum which we developed. We'll be going to show it to you in a few minutes. So we took major life skills, so which abilities required to change positive behavior within self, and also spread that negotiate with the people whom they interact. So we saw empathy. We saw the children, since they are coming with a lot of adversity, how can they resilience from that? So all these life skills which we are going to cover in those curriculums in the different. So and also we allocated these life skills in the different um, age category, so which required a degrees of creative risk, which we can't go and ask second standard child or fifth grade child solve the problem. So they need a smaller kind of challenges where they can take a smaller responsibility. Kind of interacting to others is also one of the problem they will be facing, because they are coming to school few years ago, but they don't have so much of confidence to overcome and express what the feelings they are feeling. So for that, so if the fifth or sixth or fourth grade child is able to share his happiness, or share his why he is feeling, so those are the creative risks which we helping to increase their degrees of creative risk taking. Moving on. So, as mentioned, next slide. we design. So we designed the curriculum with a in the Indian context, age appropriately, and which can be utilized across globe wherever you are there. It will help age appropriately to help the child to overcome those learning gaps what they have. So these are the 4 curriculum which we develop. It is a very simple activities with a proper description where help uh, to develop decision making, with develop problem solving skills, it develops build confidence, it develops to take appropriate decisions. So age appropriately we develop. We are also realize that this curriculum only not enough. The adults also required to have techniques or tools to how to deliver these life skills. Next slide. So you can see what are there in the life skills curriculum. There is a proper instruction for the facilitator. It start with the check-in. Then we do a main life skills activity, debrief. So this is how the life skills curriculum looks like. Just see how this is the structure of the curriculum inside the curriculum. So just example of how curriculum looks like inside. So there is a proper outcome what we are trying to look from the activity in within 30 to 40 minutes, and also materials required, and start with the check-in. And then there is an instruction for main life skills activity, how to demonstrate that activity. Then there is a small brief of reflection. Reflection is to reflect what they have learned, and also there are examples questions, simple questions which you can ask for children, and then there is a checkout. The children will be different questions we have given, so it can be used. So while we developing this curriculum, we keep these 3 principles in the curriculum. So we design using the arc of transformation. Arc of transformation is, so start with a fun element, and create a meaningful experiences, and convert that experiences into meaningful learning, then celebrate. So this is how we are calling arc of transformation. Start with the powerful. The children will be getting bored, or they are coming from some different experiences in the classroom. So these activities converted into powerful beginnings, then creating powerful experiences, then converting those experiences as a meaning. There we do the reflection, then we do the checkout to celebrate. The sample activities are given. In each curriculum, there are 30 activities, and 4 level age appropriate curriculum we have designed. In the structure curriculum, it starts with the checking. The intention of doing checking to understand the feeling of young people, whether they are ready to participate in the activity or they are bored. So while doing this check-in activity, you will be going to understand the feeling and the situation of the young people. Then you will be we introduce the main activity, so that check-in will help the facilitator or the instructor to contextualize the activity. If the children are not ready, so that doesn't need to conduct those activity. So then there is a debrief, just reflecting what had happened in the main life skills activity, and check out, it's a celebration. So in the curriculum pedagogy, we used experiential because children's doesn't want to sit and listen. Even myself, I don't want to listen. I just want to play, learn, all those like that. So we use experiential. The children will experience everything by doing activities. In that, we use lot of games, a lot of theater activity, lot of hands-on doing activities. That's the experiential. Whatever the experience they have, through that experience, the children will be going to learn. And we use process-based activity, process-based pedagogy. That's basically it's a step-by-step instruction for children to learn that through art, through singing, through painting, through drawing, through using metaphors, through writing poems, through sharing their stories or reading their stories. So those are the process based. The process will take in care in that. And also we introduce knowledge based pedagogy. We strongly believe that some of the information we want to give it to the young people. In that we use all three pedagogies in the life skills curriculum. So will be going to use that one. And so while we next one. So all those for all about that is on curriculum. So just I wanted to listen all of you just again. What is the role of adult in the child's life? Just you can put it in the chat box. What is the role of adult in child life? Nice. Yeah. Mentor, caring adult, facilitator, guide, safe zone. Yes. So yeah, guide, inspire, be an enabler. True. So this is how the facilitator handbook also comes from. Not when we see well-being is not only children's well-being, it also important our well-being. So we strongly believe that we had an insight while we developing these modules and the life skills curriculum. So we realized that adult is not only mentoring the child and also mentoring ourselves. So we strongly believe that when we empower with life skills, we can help others to develop life skills. That's the insight what we had while we facilitating with young people. So when I was used to go and we used to deliver weekly based session. The teacher used to spend every day in the school. The children were eagerly waiting for our facilitator to meet. And we reflected what happened, why the children are so excited, why they are waiting for facilitator, why not they are waiting for the teacher. So then we realized that the facilitator are empowered with life skills, so the children are loving them because they receiving the love and care what they required, the safe space what they required, the listening person of the listening the person whom the child is looking. So that's the big idea. With that, we developed this facilitator handbook to empower facilitators, the tools and techniques required, them to have a life skills, then deliver life skills to young people, them to take care self, then help others to take care self. So and also we add insight while working with them. So when we learn through experiential, our learning powerful and last long. So that's the insight we had. Only giving an information is not enough. We need to create an experience for young people. So they need to learn, they need to fail, they need to try and succeed. So those examples stayed with us even when we reflect ourselves. Few teachers stayed with us, few poems stayed with us. So a few incidents which happened in the higher school or primary school stayed with us because that was so powerful. That's why we taking that longly. And another insight we had is that we all respond to our caring and compassionate adult. When the teacher teach, the young people doesn't like. So when they receive a caring and compassionate space, we all respond to them. We believe them, we trust them, we share without hesitation, without having any barrier. Plus another insight we had while we working, so all child or every person have a desire to be seen and heard. So somebody has to recognize them. Somebody has to say you are good. Somebody has to say very good. Somebody has to you are worth. Because most of the children who are coming or few people who are coming, they are coming extremely adversity. So they are highly deserving. So in this big ideas, what helped us to develop a teacher development program, empowering teachers or empowering adult to become a caring and compassionate adult. Uh, with those, we developed a facilitator handbook. That facilitator handbook help us to have these skills. So this in the facilitator handbook, there is a theory of adversity, what is it is, why adversity, all those are there. And also it has information on how to create a arc of transformative experiences for student. And also the details of pedagogies and art of facilitation tools and list of check-in and checkouts. These are the information which is there in the life skills curriculum facilitator handbook, which help how to design, how to understand the young people, how to see the behavior, how to help young people to recognize their emotions. All tools and techniques are there in the facilitator handbook. The intention behind developing this facilitator handbook and the life skills curriculum, the curriculums are just an examples, guides. So we wanted facilitator to contextualize that to their classroom environment, their classroom settings, their regional, their place where the children are coming, and what kind of life skills required. Because every place have a different need. This facilitator handbook is to more help to design their own curriculum or own activity to help young people to have that physical well-being as well as mental well-being. So those are the tools and techniques facilitator handbooks gives. This all materials is available in the free of cost. Everybody can use. Why we made it this accessible free of cost is that we realized that when COVID hit world, everybody started talking about important of having social and emotional learning in the classroom. Till that, everyone running beyond the marks and those. So and also some places it become too expensive for others to offer. So in that, we had a learning. We want to empower. We need to reach all the young people in this. In that intention, it's a free accessible, and also it can be used with the least materials which require to run this activity. And also easy English known person can read and conduct this activity. In those intention, we made it as an accessible free, and you can download this activity at dreamydream.org life skills curriculum. It's available. It helps young people to and also the facilitator to have their well-being physically and mentally and emotionally. So with that, I invite Vinita to give an experience of how life skills curriculum looks.
Thank you, Revu. So just going to take a pause quickly. If there's some questions that are coming up to you as you're hearing about why we developed this, how we developed this, what are some things that will help you become a better facilitator, what is the intention behind the curriculum and the facilitation handbook itself. If there's some questions that you want to quickly jot down, or maybe you want to write for us in the chat, which we will come back to at the end. just take quick 30 seconds just to process everything that was given to all of you. So just take 30 seconds and write any questions you feel you need the answers to in the chat or maybe in the book somewhere. And then what I'll do is, though we've talked a lot around the curriculum, I will take you through a 10 to 15 minute of an experience of what this, how simple they are, what kind of activities, what do we mean by art, what do we mean by these different pedagogies. We'll experience that for ourselves to understand and make a little bit of connections with the curriculum. Right, so just 20 more seconds. Any questions that you want to, or some notes you want to take down? Or if there are no questions, then maybe if we can get that paper and pen and keep it close to us while we're doing this. If we're all good, maybe you can just drop a thumbs up to me in the chat or maybe in the emojis, just a thumbs up to say we're ready and we're good to go. Great question, Savita. I will definitely come to that. Thank you for that question. Anybody else? Or a thumbs up to say we'll go ahead. Thank you. So what we'll do now is, I know again we have a lot happening. We're like, okay, what is this curriculum? I want to see what this curriculum is. I want to go and download, to see what is happening in this. But I would say let's just take a pause for the next 10 to 15 minutes. We'll take some time because we're talking so much around well-being, right? Well-being of the young people that we work with, well-being of the system. So let's just take the next 10 to 15 minutes just to spend some time with yourself, spend some time to understand where you are, right? So I really invite you to put everything aside for just a couple of minutes and maybe spend this 10 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes with just yourself, right? And just follow my instructions. Keep a pen and paper, maybe a water bottle near you. So with that, I will invite you to think about, while you're thinking about yourself, if there is just look around the room, right? Look at the different objects that are there around the room. Just notice the different colors, the different objects that are there in the room. And as you look at these objects, if you had to represent one of the strengths that you had with the objects maybe that you see around you, what is that object that you would relate to? Any strength that you have, if you have to use an object around you to represent that, what would you use, right? Maybe you can also share that in the chat. For example, one of my qualities is during the most hardest time also, I have the capacity to support someone else. So I relate my quality of support with the chair, right? So support with the chair, right? So you can just write down a quality that you relate to with an object around you in the chat. Okay, so we got night lamp. Okay. You can unmute and share, or you can write it in the chat. Okay, book. Great, thank you. A water bottle. Great. Great. So keep them coming. Keep looking around. If you have something to share, please do. So what we'll do right now is, like I said, we'll spend this next couple of minutes with ourselves. So if you have that pen and paper with you, on the paper, I want you to trace your hand on it, right? So just listen to the whole instructions and we'll start once and for all. So you will trace the outline of your hand. Take a couple of minutes with yourself and say what are and identify some of the strengths that you have. I'm sure all of us have a lot of strengths within us that make you beautiful, not just from outer, but there's so much inside us that's beautiful, right? So what are some of these strengths that make you beautiful? Maybe identify about 3 to 4 if you'd like. And inside this outline, maybe you mention them, mention those strengths that you have, but let's not just write them, right? Maybe use a drawing, a picture, right, to represent that strength. So inside the outline, draw your strengths, right? 3 to 4 strengths that you have that you want to show. And the drawing does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be a true representation of the word. It could just be something that means something to you and you understand it, right? For example, one of the qualities I have is conviction, right? And maybe I would use a spiral to just represent that for myself, right? So let's just spend the next 5 minutes to draw that outline and mention 3 or 4 strengths that you have in the form of a picture, right? So if you're good, can you just give me a thumbs up, or if there's any questions? Let's take about 4 to 5 minutes to do that. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
we draw the outline of the hand.
Yes.
You mentioned we draw a picture of our quality, which we think.
Correct. Qualities that you have, you will use a picture to represent that quality.
And not the word.
And not the word. Yes. So try and use a picture. Yeah. Great. So let's just take about 4 minutes to do this. I'm going to play some music, spend some time with yourself, thinking about yourself and representing that picture. Let's take 2 more minutes. Let's take 30 seconds to start wrapping. How many of our strengths you've been able to represent? That's 30 seconds. Okay. Let's slowly come back. I hope you've had a chance to draw some, if not 3, 4, if some 1 or 2 or 3 strengths of yours on your outline. Is there anybody who would like to share? If not your strengths, if not the whole picture, maybe if you just want to show us a small snapshot of your picture, you can. I'd really open this space to some sharings. Anybody who would like to just show your picture of what you drew. You don't have to explain it if you don't want to, or if you want to share 1 or 2 strengths of yours with the group, then you can as well. Anyone who would like to share your picture, or some of the strengths that you were able to represent, or if you just want to talk about, this is how I drew one of the strengths that I have, or you just want to talk about the experience, right? How was it for you to do this small activity? Anybody who would like to, again, in the chat, or if you want to unmute and speak.
Maybe we can start then.
Okay, I'll try and go. Again, made a very rough copy. Let me see if it's clear to you. Is it showing up or is it too blurred? Is my video too blurred?
It's blurred.
Yeah, let me try and, so that's something that I've made. That's how I choose to represent some of my strengths. this is how I choose to represent adaptability, sensitivity, my conviction. I feel like I'm very grounded. So just some of my strengths that I've had a chance to reflect on. Anybody else who would like to also share? I just want to say how this experience was for you.
Savita mentioned in the chat.
I've never tried to think of my strengths in pictures, so that was new. I didn't manage to draw, but found pictures from the internet that spoke to me. Yeah, great, sure, thank you. I expressed my care for people through a symbolic plant drawing, okay, showcasing my strength and joy in nurturing and watering them. That's lovely, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Bin. Okay, thank you. So was that, so like Savita mentioned, this was new for some of you to draw your strengths, right? Instead of just writing technically, we always cognitively try and write it down. So was that difficult? That was challenging? Was that easy for you to draw your strengths instead of writing it? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, I'm sure it was, right? I remember the first time I had done it, I found it hard, right? And that's okay. That's absolutely fine, right? But when you look at your picture, when you look at whatever you've been able to draw or whatever you've been able to relate to, what do you think is coming up for you? Okay, so that's, I see Savita has shared some pictures. I love it. Strong-willed nature. Thank you, Vijay, for sharing your picture. Two strengths as nurturing, just being and connecting. Thank you. Thank you. Quite a few of you have managed to do it. Thank you. So did you discover something new about yourself? Or what was this experience like for you? Did you discover something new or did you rediscover something about yourself? Something that you've forgotten and like you remembered? Or generally, what was it like? And keep them coming in the chat. I love reading the chat. Did you learn something new? Or did you rediscover something about yourself, maybe that you forgot, or that was nice to see? But what was the experience like of just doing this for like a couple of minutes? That's all we spent with ourselves today. So as if we're still thinking or typing, I haven't thought about my strengths in a while, so it was kind of a reiteration to myself. Great, thank you. Vijay says, I found it hard to draw. My positive attributes, easier to voice them, I think. Yeah, we're so used to talking about it, but it's much harder to draw it. Yes. Yeah. Great. So when you're doing this, right, what do you think, right? So we experience different emotions. We've done some of these activities maybe through a writing exercise. But you know, it's nice to remember some of these things. So imagine when a child, right, or a young person does this similar kind of activity. What do you think they experience when they're doing something like this? Maybe so. What are some life skills you think that they're learning through this exercise of drawing your hand? You know, drawing, maybe having the chance to show your drawing like you all did. Share your answers. What do you think will happen to some young person who does this? Maybe in terms of experience, or maybe in terms of what are some life skills that they would learn? Yeah, they would have more openness to try something new. Yeah, great. Thank you. Absolutely. What else do you think would be the experiences of a young person who would do something like this? Yeah, I think it's a great way to see themselves in a new light. Absolutely. You get to see others' perspectives when they see different images. Absolutely. Great. You're learning how to express yourselves. Yes, absolutely. Right. And so keep them coming. If you think there's a lot more happening to the young person's experience while they do something like this, please keep writing in. Right. We want to gather as much as we can. And that's exactly what we're trying to do through these activities also, right? Instead of me telling them, just, write down your strengths in a piece of paper and be like, okay, great, let's go home. We're trying to take them through a process of, making it personal. We're using art, which in some sense, if you see, it builds a level of critical thinking for the child, right? Something that we always do is either talk or write, but we're also giving them new ways to express themselves, like you've said, right? We're also learning to be vulnerable, absolutely, right? Through our sharings, because we know that these drawings may or may not be perfect, right? And so we're also learning to be vulnerable through these sharings. We're trying to build a community of people who can talk about themselves, but in a different way. Right? We're building awareness of themselves. And while they're doing all of this and sharing with each other through their community or in wherever space they are in, we're building their self-esteem, right? To say, hey, this is what I am, and I've been able to represent it this way, and to be able to talk about it, right? So if you really look at it through something so simple and through the medium of art, and something else that I love about art is that you can never be wrong. If you're writing, then you can always go wrong with spellings. Maybe I don't know, or I don't know the word for it in English or in the language. But the beauty of art is that there's no language that is required. You will never be right or wrong. It is just who you are and what feels right to you, right? And that's why we use a lot of the experiential learning, and we use the pedagogy of art, theater, because in these spaces, there's no right or wrong. There's really just your experience and what it means to you. So great. Thank you so much again for doing this. And I really hope that you can take some of these activities. This is a small glimpse of the activity we have done. Again, a part of the middle level curriculum that we showed you as well. It's called Beautiful You. Again, it's a more 40-minute process with the students to really take them through the process. But just a glimpse to all of you who are here. So just to close this small piece of the activity, a question that I had in mind is, if you, what is it that one thing you do for your well-being? Maybe you can write it in the chat and tell us. So you've had a chance to speak about or think about yourself right now, right, through this. So just to close that, what is one thing you do for your well-being? So just to close this. And then we'll get to the questions. What do you do actively or intentionally? I saw a few hands in the beginning also. What do you do for your well-being? Listening to music, walk around the lake, go for a long walk. Great. What do you do for your well-being? I generally go for a run. So Savita says, I read books, spend time with friends, I write in a journal. Great, right? So we do so many of these things for our well-being. So thank you so much again for that. I hope you had a chance to, or a glimpse of what we have. Jibin says, avoiding activities that I don't enjoy. Absolutely, right? Some things that you don't want to do. So great, thank you for that. With that, I think we're just going to open up the space for some questions that me and Rebu would be taking. maybe some questions. We'll start with the questions that we got from the chat before. And then if there's any other questions that you are really sitting with that you want to unmute and share, you can ask. Or if you want to still put it in the chat, you can. Yeah. So I'm just going to scroll past the questions. Revu, we both can take turns to answer the questions also. Yeah.
I think Vijay asked that question, what is creative risk? I hope some experiences you had. So basically what we are looking here is that, for example, if I ask a person to share your story, it will be risky for him. To take that person to share his struggles, the pain, or the life what he is living, just starting with how are you feeling? That's the one step of creative risk the person will take. Or just taking this beautiful you activity, we asked write one or two strength. So if I ask write 10 strength, it will be a risk. Those who are not, it also contextualize that the audience, their experiences, their level of age in that. So helping them to take a smaller step to understand themselves and discover what they need. That's how we are reimagining that, how to push from smaller risk to higher level of risk. Just identifying one strength, just identifying what they are feeling, give name to those feeling, because some of us majorly know that happy, sad, disappointed, all those things, shy, all those things. Beyond that, there are many other feelings are making us to express those strong feelings. So taking them to step by step to recognize that what skills I have, what value system I have, what strength I have, what qualities I have. So asking them to reflect on those step by step. And Savita also asked that these activities for those who are coming from adversity, it's not only the people who are coming from the adversity, it's for all of us. We all need a well-being. We all get anger. We all get disappointed. We all get fails. How I overcome that? This activity will help all, not only those who are coming from adversity, and also the people who are more privileged, how they can empathize with those who are not privileged. So it helps them to take it in that lens.
If I can just also quickly add, right? It's just that now, especially after COVID, if you see that the amount of stress, the kind of loneliness, or the kind of things that it's brought along into each of our lives, irrespective of coming from a privileged or not so privileged background, I think in some sense we've all require this kind of a well-being. We want somebody, like we said, who can see us, who can be, somewhere we can share whatever we're going through. Right. And I think these activities are also designed in such a way that you can start creating that safety for expression, for people to just voice their struggles, to voice their challenges, a space where they can be seen, they can be heard. So really, in that sense, if you look at it, even though we had got it from the context to help children from adversity, but we believe that it's something that can be used in every context for every person, irrespective of where they come from. Like you just saw the beautiful you activity, right, that I did. It does not matter where we are coming from, and it's always nice to do that for yourselves. So I think in some sense, it also kind of answers your next question, where you're saying, if I'm not art driven, can I still go ahead and do it? But if you see, for the beautiful you activity that I did, you didn't really need to be having some artistic skills. What we're trying is just to give another form of expression, right? For which you're also learning We are also just finding a new way of expression, and art is just that medium to do that. So I don't believe that you need to be artistically inclined to only do this. They're going to be very simple activities, just as a form of expression, to encourage different forms of expression instead of just using the cognitive brain. We're saying, hey, how else can you be? How can we do this differently? Yeah. There was another question from Jibin. It says, how do you assess the effectiveness of the curriculum?
So, and also for the facilitator handbook provides those skills, how to deliver a heart-based, experience-based. That's how it talks. And also the leading next question, in the art facilitator curriculum, there is a assessment tool as well. So which we developed, taking two clinical psychologists from UK. So they help us to develop life skills assessment skills. So even that also kind of a free available tool which is using to measure both from earlier age category and also the and also youth life skills. So you can use those tools to measure the life skills developed, and also you can use those tool to understand the need for the young people. So because some people need to self-confidence. Some people need kind of self-awareness. So some people might need just collaboration, co-working, co-creating. So this tool will help to understand what kind of contextualized activity which required. And also we are not saying in the curriculum as it is, you have to deliver it. It's a completely choice-based. You can choose, contextualize, and conduct how your classroom required. So that's all tools, technique, methods, approaches the life skill facilitator guide gives. And also apart from life skill assessment scale, there is a more scales developed measuring well-being scales, which is available in life skills for collaborative. That's one of the platform you can go and download. So there is also a tool, open tool from life skill glossary, life skills for collaboration glossary. So that tool can also be used to measure life skills impact. So Dreamy Dream has been using that scales more than 15 years to measure our impact.
I hope that answers your question, Jibin, around the assessment. I think Vijay had another question. With every passing season, changes in elected governments, priorities change. Some leaders like such interventions, some may not see immediate value. How do you navigate the systemic chaos and still push for systemic intervention, especially when you are working directly with government school teachers who are also equally reluctant to change?
Chalimi is a good example.
So I think that's kind of a struggle that definitely even we face, right? Of trying to say, hey, life skills is something that's really important, but the system is like, yeah, we get it, but I don't know if we have space for it. That's definitely a constant struggle, and I hear you when you say that. But I think we're able to really engage with leaders who understand that, right? I think one of the things that has worked for us really well is we go into the ground, we really hear the needs of the ground. When we talk about life skills, now life skills are so many, right? But when we go into the ground and we hear what is it that the context specific needs require. For example, one of the contexts that we work with are the tribal students who are in India, and so those context is more that they feel more left out than the rest of the urban population or the rest of the cultures, right? Because they're used to certain kind of isolation. So now if you see in that particular sense, a lot more life skills that they require is more around having more self-esteem, having more self-resilience. And so when we pitch it, we really pitch it to the context and the need of it. Similarly, I think what has worked for us is being able to pitch from the context to say, hey, these are the specific life skills that we feel are really relevant to the context in which you are working, and weaving stories from there. And then I think identifying leaders or leadership within the education systems who are ready to hear this. So I think, again, we've been really lucky that we've been able to identify those champions who are talking about well-being, who are talking about life skills, who are looking for solutions towards this, and weave these stories together. I think that's really just been our struggle and achievement, to find those champions, right? And then being able to take them to the teachers. Again, when we took it to the ground into the teachers, we've selected those set of teachers to start with, who really, again, have the heart and mind towards or are more inclined, so that we're able to show proof of concept to the system also that, hey, one, there's a requirement for something like this, and there's an impact, right? When we have interventions like this, the impact on the students can be really, really hard, or sorry, really, really a lot. So when you're able to start with that, start with acceptance, whoever is ready to take in, we start pushing from there, create examples of, hey, there's change. That's kind of worked for us. But Rivu, if you want to add something.
No, good. Trust and accept. Empathizing those people, so they will trust us. Listen to their need. Yeah, with that, any other questions? Savita, Zbin, Vijay. So we are running 3 minutes. Think they can write to us if they have any queries. We'll definitely respond to those, and we'll do the checkout.
So just to close for today, maybe then, if there's something that's standing out for you today, or something that you really resonated with, something that was a takeaway for you, right, that you would like to share with us, maybe you can leave that in the chat to just close today's session. What is one thing that really resonated with you, something that stuck with you, or a takeaway that you have for yourself? Thank you, Jibin. I really like the Beautiful You activity. The simplicity of art. Great, thank you. Think of forms of expression that are not words spoken or written. Great. Thank you. With that, I think it was great. Thank you so much for being with us till the end. It's been a long day, maybe for a lot of us, but you've still been here with us patiently. So thank you so much again. I hope you have a really, really good day and a good week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, that's us.
Yay, it went really well. I think both of you are really